What's good, everybody? Israel not coming back at y'all with another video. So for this video, this one is going to be essentially like motivation to give you the sign to keep moving forward, to keep pushing through, right? The title of this video is Just Do It. The Nike slogan, Just Do It Now. It's Just Do It. In some cases, going to be Just Be It, because I have, personal stories to share with you guys about that. But for the most part, the idea of the video is Just Do It. Now, I'm emphasizing this because there are many folks out there that are even afraid to get started towards a goal or a dream of theirs. And a lot of times it's because of irrational fears. It is sometimes it's the belief that I'm not ready. I haven't started because I'm not ready. And while there may be some truth to it, oftentimes we are afraid to get started because we think we're not ready, because we haven't gone through the motions. Like, we don't know what to expect. So of course we're not ready for something we don't know, but you will never know if you don't get started, right? So that's why some people can get stuck in that endless cycle, that endless loop, and before you know it, so much time has gone past and they look back and tell themselves, man, had I got started when I said I was going to get started, I could have made so much more progress. And they'll sort of beat themselves up for it. But understand is, if there's something you really want, either a major goal of yours, a dream to experience or to live through, just get started, right? Like, I understand the fear of, putting yourself out there and thinking that you're going to be judged by other people. But what you need to understand is, first and foremost, everyone is going to have an opinion, so who cares? And two, your life is yours to live. You, just like everyone else, is chasing happiness. And so if there's something that you truly enjoy that brings you happiness, just embrace it and just do more of it. Because if you were put here on this earth to experience outrageous joy, that is the goal, right? And you want to do something or become something or become someone, right, that's going to bring you happiness or joy, then if you're doing that, you're fulfilling your life's purpose of being happy, right? And so that is more than enough reason to do it, right? For example, I remember I had a conversation some time ago with a friend of mine, and he said that he wanted to be an influencer, right? That was his goal, that was his dream. So to be an influencer, you have to put out content, because as far as I'm concerned, I've never seen an influencer that doesn't put out content, right? Because then who are you influencing, right? You're not showcasing anything, you're not showcasing your product, you're not doing anything, right? Being an influencer, you have to put out content. And so that is what you need to do, right? At least the obvious route, right? Some people might be afraid to get started because they think to themselves, how am I ever going to get to six-figure followers, right? Like 100,000, 200,000, 500,000, or over 1 million followers. Like, how am I ever going to get to that point? Because they can see that as the destination of becoming an influencer, being at like 1 million followers or something. But you need to understand is that I don't know, you don't know, no one knows how you're going to get there. That's okay. That's the point. Even though you may not have clarity on that, you still have clarity and understanding that in order for you to be an influencer, you need to make a name for yourself and you need to post content. So at the very bare minimum, even if you don't have the obvious route from getting to where you're at, point A, to the destination at B, right? You at least know, okay, I probably at the very least need to do this to get closer to where it is that I want to go, right? Same idea if you were to ever go on a long distance drive, right? If you're in New York and you want to drive to Florida, which is a straight shot down, it's probably like a 20-hour drive south. You might think to yourself, I don't know how to get to Florida, right? Because you can get there flying on an airplane, you can get there on a boat, you can get there driving, you can get there on a bike, you can get there walking, running, crawling, right? Many different methods of getting there. Now, of course, not all of them are recommended, right? However, those are all vehicles, methods of getting down to Florida. And so even if you don't know how to get down to Florida, you at least know that you need to head south. And so regardless of your method of transportation for going south, you know that as long as you're heading south, you're headed in the right direction and you're getting close to your destination. That's the same idea with everything else in life, right? Things that we want to be or have, sometimes all that requires you is just getting started and not worrying about the finer details in between, right? I can speak on personal experience myself. This was one of the irrational fears that I had with getting started on YouTube, because I thought to myself, well, what will people think? And will people even watch my videos? Will people even care about what I have to say? Will my videos look too, not as amazing with all, some other larger content creators post videos in really nice studios with high tech equipment and all these things? And I'm thinking to myself, okay, well, what if my videos don't take off because I don't have all the special equipment? I just have a camera and a microphone attached to the camera. Will people ever care? And then I realized that there are also big content creators who do videos just like how I'm doing, just speaking into a camera, very basic equipment that, costing me a few $100s now. Some of you may just have an iPhone, but there's also many content creators who simply film videos, basic videos of them just talking into an iPhone. And they're doing very well, and they're having fun and enjoying their life and fulfilling their life's purpose. And they get plenty of views and attention, and people love their videos. And so I thought to myself, okay, all of these fears that I had, even though I knew they were irrational fears, they stopped me from getting started sooner. Until the day came and I realized, like, you know what, I'm just going to post content because I know that I can share information that's going to be valuable and can really impact the lives of other people around the world. So I'm just going to do that. And so now it feels like second nature. Now this is normal for me to record videos and share my knowledge and information with you guys. And I'm comfortable doing it. And I know that the dream destination I have in my mind, I know that I'll get there when I get there. But even with that same idea, I still show up as the 1 million subscriber content creator, right? I don't show up as a content creator that has 5 subscribers, and shout out to everyone who subscribes to this channel, right? I don't show up as the content creator that only has 5 subscribers or 0 subscribers, where I'm nervous to speak into the camera and I'm super shy and all these things. No. If you want to get to the 1 million subscriber mark, you have to first show up as the 1 million subscriber content creator, right? You need to show up with confidence. You need to show up with some swag. You need to present yourself as if you are already that person, because then when you show up as that person, the rest of the variables, rest of the universe will have to bend its will to you so that eventually becomes a reality. It is, if you don't believe me, right? Here's another example. Here, the same idea goes for sports and becoming a champion in sports, professional sports. People think that you become champion once you hoist up the championship trophy at the end of the season. Now, that is when fans can see you as a champion and can call you a champion, and you're labeled as a champion officially. But the road to becoming a champion begins from the very first day. It begins with the mentality, the belief that you are capable of being champion and that you're going to bust your behind with you and your teammates to really make the sacrifice in order to win. Champion is not made overnight. It's made the entire season. It's all of the effort and sacrifice that you made. If you were an athlete and you believe that you sucked and that you were terrible and that you weren't going to win, what reason would you have to show up to practice, or to show up or to practice multiple times, or to sacrifice time away from family to get better, right? You wouldn't do that. You would probably just sit on the couch and just play video games from sun to sundown, or just go do other things, and your focus wouldn't be on the sport. But you need to have the mentality of champion and the sacrifices and everything of a champion to then hopefully be good enough with your team to eventually win and then be labeled as a champion, right? The late, great Kobe Bryant, one of the greatest basketball players who've ever lived, there's stories of how, I believe it was 2008, when he lost in the championship round against Boston. Most people, when they lose the championship, they go on vacation or they lock themselves in their room because they're angry, frustrated that they didn't win, right? And so they sort of like give themselves a grace period, whether it's like a week, 2 weeks, whatever, to take their mind off of the loss, right? Kobe Bryant was so frustrated with the loss that immediately after losing in the championship round, he went straight to the gym to continue practicing and honing in on his craft. because he could not stomach the loss, and he believed that he was a champion, and he knew that there was going to be nothing could prevent him from hoisting the trophy up next year when he has another chance at winning. This is the idea, right? This is the idea of just do it or just be it, right? That is championship mentality and mindset. You can, when things don't go your way, you can be sorry for yourself and beat yourself up and feel like a victim and feel sad and frustrated and angry. Or you can get up and go do something about it. You can get up and begin working towards your dream life, right? Some people will just go their whole lives feeling sorry for themselves, wondering why things haven't changed, or why can't they, why wasn't their life in this way? Or they can accept where things are at in their life, take responsibility and say, you know what? It's okay if things aren't where I want them to be or where they should be. That's okay. We're going to now make the difference moving forward. We're now going to make the proper adjustments to win, right? This is what I mean when I say just do it or just be it. If you want to win in life, you want to first and foremost show up as that winner. You want to have the right attitude. Even if you've been losing or getting your butt kicked by life for the past weeks, months, years, whatever it is, right? You can still show up with the right attitude and show up as a winner, because in order to be a winner, that is the first requirement, the first prerequisite to show up as a winner. That means showing up with a smile on your face. That means showing up with confidence. That means showing up with belief, knowing that things are going to work out and things are working itself out, right? Even if you get knocked down, you can still stand up. Some people, when they get knocked down, they stay on the ground. And I know you're not one of those people because you're watching this video, right? And you're resonating with this video. So this video, I guess you can say, it was more motivation, inspiration, but I just want to share it with you guys to have you understand that you can tap into that winner attitude and that winner energy, right? You don't need to know how something is going to happen for you to get started, right? Some people, they want to wait for all the answers, they want to wait to be ready before getting started, not knowing that you're never going to be ready, because you can't possibly know everything that's going to happen. You can't possibly be prepared for everything, right? Sometimes you're just going to have to dive in and jump in and embrace whatever experiences life throws at you, right? And that is how you continue growing as a person. That is how you get better. Some people don't ever take the leap of faith because they're too comfortable where they're at, and they're afraid of what they might become or what they might have to be, how they might have to change in order to grow. And you need to understand that sometimes in order to get to somewhere you've never been before, it requires you to become someone you've never been before. It requires you to tap into new energy. It requires you make sacrifices to be better. And if you want to win at life, then you'll do that, right? So sometimes in life, it's not about waiting to be ready and feeling ready, right? Sometimes you just gotta dive in and say, you know what, I'm gonna go all in. If this is important to you, you should want to go all in. And even if going all in means taking baby steps right now, then just do that and embrace that and be happy with that and be proud of that you're still moving towards where it is that you want to go, right? Just embrace it all. You don't have to wait to be ready, because some people have waited their whole lives to be ready, and they've let years and decades go by and still no change in their lives, right? You can begin making the appropriate changes right now. You can begin getting started right now, and it can be such a fun time and a thrill. Because what you need to understand is this, right? When you try new things, you're only going to be a newbie once. You're only going to be a beginner once. People can laugh at you. People can make fun of you, all these things, right? When you're starting off new, that's okay, right? You're only going to be a newbie one time. Eventually, you're going to get the hang of it. Eventually, you're going to be better at it, or you're going to be good. Eventually, you're going to be exceptional at it. Eventually, you're going to be an expert at it. And then eventually, right, you're going to win. Things are going to be on the upside, right? They're saying, if you stay small enough, long enough, you'll be big enough soon enough. So approach life with that same mentality. Whatever it is that you want to go after, just go after it head first. Don't worry about all the other details in between, or don't worry about not having all the answers, right? The answers will reveal themselves at the right place at the right time when you are ready for them, right? And just trust that a higher power is operating alongside you to deliver you what it is that you want. So just want to wrap this video by saying, just do it, right? Or just be it. If there's an occupation, just be it. But most importantly, just do it. Show up with the right attitude, and just know that everything else will be taken care of. So that wraps up the video. Enjoy the video. Do leave a like and subscribe if you're on the road to a million subscriber, guys. So once again, it's Joel, and I'm out. I'll see you guys for the next video.